Okay, intriguing.
Our deep dive is into the Vedic Indian Calendar 2025, a sacred companion to festivals, mantras, and moon cycles.
Ah, right. And the Purnimanta tradition version.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
And my first impression, just holding it, it's a paperback you can find on Amazon, it felt less like a scheduler, you know?
More like an artifact.
Exactly, like a carefully crafted artifact. It's from Compassion Hall Press, which right away you get this sense of a boutique spiritual press.
Okay.
And the design is just so clean, really minimalist, beautiful. And you see the Sanskrit mantras right there on the pages. It kind of, it just draws you in.
Yeah, it makes you pause, doesn't it?
It really does. Even before you open it properly, it feels different from all the digital stuff we're used to.
It certainly does. And, what really grabbed me right from the start is the opening. It's quite profound.
The dedication.
Yeah, more than just a dedication. It sets a whole intention, it says. To the moon that governs our rhythm, to the sages who gave us the stars, and to the seekers who mark time not in hours but in offerings.
Wow. Offerings, not ours.
Yeah.
That's a statement.
Isn't it? It signals this fundamental shift in how you're supposed to relate to time.
Mm.
And then there's the invocation right after. What, Mike? Salutations to time itself, the ever-unfolding mystery.
Salutations to time itself.
Okay. It just instantly sets this tone, promising to anchor your days in devotion, align your heart with the lunar tide, and return you gently, month by month, to your center.
Return you to your center.
Yeah, it's clearly aiming for a very different kind of timekeeping experience. Less about managing, more about, well, experiencing, being present with it.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit, because that idea, returning to your center, time as offerings, it's so different from how most of us operate day to day, right?
Sure.
So what really makes this calendar stand out from, say, a regular planner or even a digital calendar app on your phone? Because it's obviously not trying to just replace those.
That's a really key point. It explicitly calls itself a return to sacred time.
Sacred time, okay.
The whole idea is shifting your focus away from just, productivity, ticking off boxes, managing appointments.
The endless to-do lists.
Exactly. Towards mindfulness, towards spiritual reflection. It's a deliberate step away from that relentless linear view of time.
And it's based on the Purnimanta system you mentioned.
That's right, which is important. It's a North Indian Hindu tradition, and it means each lunar month actually begins the day after the full moon.
After the full moon. Interesting. Not the new moon.
No. And that's not just arbitrary. The idea is to promote a flow that's in harmony with Vedic wisdom. Think about it. Instead of starting a cycle from emptiness, like a new moon,
You start from fullness.
exactly, from peak illumination, peak energy. So you kind of enter the month already feeling full, carrying that abundance forward as the moon wanes, rather than always striving from a point of lack. It's subtle, but it's a big psychological shift.
That reframing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. And it feels like the practical elements really back that up too, don't they? Every choice seems to support that spiritual angle.
Definitely.
You've got the monthly overviews from Vaishakha to Chaitra. Those are the traditional Vedic lunar months, for anyone unfamiliar, running roughly April to April. Gives you the big picture.
Right, the whole arc of the year.
Then the festival markers for key Hindu celebrations are super clear. So you know the auspicious days.
Contextually, yeah. Not just a generic holiday marker.
And the Tithi notations to follow the waxing and waning moon. Now, these tithas, I know they're lunar days, but how do they offer more specific guidance than just knowing if the moon's getting bigger or smaller?
Oh, that's a great question. Tithas are much more granular. Each lunar day, each tithi has its own specific energy, its own kind of flavor and significance for spiritual practice.
Okay.
So some tithas might be really auspicious for starting something new. Others are better for rest or introspection or specific rituals. This calendar integrates them so you can choose if you want a more harmonious time for your meditation or even just daily tasks.
So it lets you fine-tune your alignment with the moon's energy on a daily level.
Precisely. It helps you get more attuned to that cosmic rhythm. And then, like you said, the beautiful Sanskrit mantras to inspire and guide are woven throughout.
Yeah.
But I think what really makes it a companion, not just a tool, are those reflection spaces built right into each month for your own insights, prayers, intentions.
Right. It's asking you to engage. It's not passive.
Exactly.
And to give you a feel for this sacred time idea, let's look at a couple of the monthly themes. This is where it really comes alive, I think.
Yeah, the themes are lovely.
Okay, so Vaishakha, starting around April 2025, is themed Sun's Radiance. Associated with Surya, the sun god, It encourages things like early morning river bathing, considered really purifying. Imagine starting your month like that.
Very intentional.
Then you move into Chaitra, mid-May or so. That's themed peak summer. This month emphasizes tapasya, which means like self-discipline or focused spiritual effort.
Yeah. Austerities in a way, but more about building inner strength, not necessarily harshness.
Right. And its mantra is Tsandala Om Namah Shivaya, such a powerful mantra for Shiva, often used for purification.
A very profound one. And then Ashada, starting mid-June, is the start of monsoon. And here, the theme encourages reflection, retreat.
Pulling inward.
Exactly. It's tied to the mythology of Vishnu's yogic sleep, a period of cosmic rest and rejuvenation. So these aren't just, labels on a month, they're invitations.
Invitations to live in sync with that energy.
Yeah, to experience time as this living, breathing thing, not just a series of deadlines.
It's amazing how that shifts your whole perception of time, isn't it? The calendar has this line, time is not passing, it is returning.
That's powerful.
It just reframes everything. Time isn't this finite thing you're constantly running out of. It's not a race. It's cyclical. It comes back around.
Like the seasons, like the moon.
Yeah. Every month, every day is a chance to return to that sacredness. I mean, think about the stress we carry, that feeling of time slipping away.
Yeah.
How could seeing time as returning actually change someone's daily stress, or even how they approach long-term goals?
Oh, it's a total paradigm shift, I think. The linear model, time as a resource you spend, you manage, you conquer, creates so much pressure, right? Make the most of every minute.
Yeah, exhausting.
But if time is cyclical, returning,
Right.
it eases that pressure cooker. It offers renewal. It offers another chance. If you miss your meditation today, okay, the cycle comes back. You can realign tomorrow.
A gentler approach.
Much gentler, yeah,
Yeah.
more compassionate maybe. It encourages patience, being present, appreciating the rhythm instead of fighting it, finding flow, not force.
And it seems this calendar knows exactly who it's speaking to. It feels very clear about its audience.
It does, yeah. The source material highlights a few key groups.
Like who?
Well, obviously yoga teachers and practitioners, people often already working with these kinds of concepts, looking to deepen that integration.
Makes sense.
Then the South Asian diaspora, maybe folks seeking to reconnect with their heritage in a way that feels alive and practical, not just historical.
So tangible connection.
Right. Also, meditation practitioners, finding structure, wellness coaches, maybe using it with clients to build sacred routines.
Oh, that's a great application.
And of course, anyone looking for really meaningful spiritual gifts. It's more than just a pretty object. It's like gifting an intention, a pathway.
It makes you think, doesn't it? If maybe you fit into one of those groups or know someone who does. I've tried tracking lunar cycles with apps before, and honestly, it often felt like just another digital task.
Yeah, it can become that.
This physical calendar seems to offer something else. It's for those who live close to the pulse of the divine in breath, in ritual, and in reverence for the celestial cycles. That phrase really paints a picture.
It does. It captures that longing for something more than just a grid of dates. And it offers such a tangible way to bring that ancient wisdom into modern life, For the diaspora, maybe it bridges that gap between tradition and daily living here and now. Makes heritage feel active.
A living practice, not just a memory.
Exactly. And for yoga or meditation folks, it provides a framework, a way to align their personal practice with these bigger cosmic energies, maybe making it feel more resonant, more harmonious.
Living the principles, not just thinking about them.
Yeah.
Integrating them.
So that brings up a key question then. Beyond just giving you dates and themes, what's the actual invitation here? What does this calendar really ask you to do with it to make it more than just, a book sitting there?
Well, I think it invites you to make it a living part of your sacred space.
Okay, how so? Imagine integrating it onto your altar. Not just as decoration, but as something you actually touch, refer to in your morning practice, maybe?
A touchstone.
Yeah, exactly. Or picture it next to your journal, using those reflection prompts to actually dialogue with yourself, with the theme of the month. It's designed for interaction.
Not just observation.
Right. It wants to become part of your daily devotion, your ongoing self-discovery. Each month is like an intentional journey you take with it.
And it makes that journey feel accessible by connecting you to the lunar energy, the mythology each month. Like Teshravana, starting mid-July, the theme is rain and devotion.
A month sacred to Lord Shiva.
Right. And it even gives you the Diyo Triampada, Triambakam Yajamahe mantra, the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, often used for healing and protection.
Such a potent one.
Or Bhadrapada, mid-August. Theme, joyful devotion. tied to Krishna Janmashtami Ganesh Chaturthi. Huge celebration.
Very vibrant, yeah.
And the mantra is Om Ganganapate Namaha, calling on Ganesha to remove obstacles. What does it feel like, do you think, to consciously connect with those specific energies month by month?
Oh, it's beautifully put. Each month really does feel like a kind of soft doorway into myth and mantra.
A soft doorway. I like that.
Yeah, and the Sanskrit mantras are key. They're not just words, they're vibrations, right? Designed to resonate with specific energies, specific deities. They help focus the mind, elevate your consciousness.
So the calendar uses them to deepen that connection to time as a spiritual rhythm.
Exactly. It transforms it from just marking dates into a genuine devotional guide.
Yeah.
It's about engaging your senses, your spirit, with the flow of time, turning reflection into participation in these ancient currents. You start to feel the pulse of these archetypes in your own life.
So thinking about the publisher, Compassion Hall Press,
Yeah.
what does this calendar tell us about their overall vision? It feels like there's a very specific intention behind their work.
Oh, absolutely. It's clear they're not just churning out books. They position themselves as a sanctuary for devotional design.
The sanctuary.
Yeah, and a house devoted to books that remember the heart. That phrase really says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's about nurturing the soul through print. Their stuff isn't just meant to be read. It's meant to be experienced, to be a companion.
And their goal, to create books and tools that sit beside the soul, that resonates so well with this calendar. It's not about fast information. It's about providing companions for reflection, for growth, for connecting to something deeper.
Precisely.
And they have other collections too, right? Which kind of fill out that picture.
They do. It shows a really holistic approach. They have poetry and soul work described as for the quietly unraveling and the boldly feeling, letters and reflections, which are like musings and messages for the mind, the seeker, and the soul. Then the spiritual and devotional collection, where this calendar fits with mantra journals, meditative companions. They even have speculative works for the visionary, the myth maker, and gift editions, gentle keepsakes.
Wow, quite a range, but all with that same feel.
Exactly. It all seems to tie back to their motto, soft power, build thought. They seem committed to curating experiences that support a mindful, heart-centered life, not just selling products.
So if this idea of sacred timekeeping is calling to you, if connecting with these rhythms feels right, you can find the Vedic Indian Calendar 2025 on Amazon. And to see more from Compassion Hall Press, explore their other collections and their whole vision, you can check out compassionhall.com.
Yeah, definitely worth exploring. I can easily think of who I'd gift this to.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Someone starting out on their yoga journey, looking for that deeper meaning beyond just the physical poses. This would be perfect.
Give them structure, some context.
Exactly. Or a friend who's really into lunar cycles but finds apps a bit, cold or abstract. This is so tangible.
Yeah, physical makes a difference.
And definitely any family members or friends in the South Asian diaspora wanting to connect with their heritage in a way that feels both authentic and integrated into modern life. It's really a gift of intention.
A gift of intention. I love that.
Yeah.
It leads to a final thought, really. In this world that's so obsessed with time, as this finite thing to be spent, this race we have to win.
The pressure.
Yeah. What kind of profound shift could happen if we consciously choose to see time, not just as passing, but as returning? What if we embraced it as this cyclical, sacred rhythm to align with, rather than just a resource to manage or exploit? How might really feeling that, connecting to these ancient cycles, actually reshape your day-to-day experience, maybe reduce some of that stress, and ultimately deepen your connection to yourself and to this whole unfolding mystery around us?
That's a beautiful question to sit with.
It really is. Something to ponder. An invitation, perhaps, to live more fully in each sacred returning moment, long after this year, or any calendar year, turns over.